Hello, scholars. My name is Joseph or G, and I'm going to keep you company today. In today's lecture, excuse me. In today's lecture, our main focus is on the cost of debt. Remember, these past few weeks, we have been working on cost of capital. So we have done I've shown you how to calculate the weighted average cost of capital. Excuse me. Now, today, we will teach you, or rather show you, or explain to you how to compute the cost of debt. But first of all, what is the cost of debt? I think that should be a good place to start. Now, when we say the cost of debt, we are referring to the effective rate that a company pays on its current debt. In other words, the cost of debt means the effective cost a company that incurs when raising funds through borrowing. Usually, as you know already, there are two ways a company can raise funds, either by borrowing through line of credits or through loans, or by equity, selling equity. That means ownership. So understanding the cost of debt is very, very important for the managers of the company, or the founders of the company, or the people that run the company. It's very important, especially for making informed financial decisions, and also for evaluating capital structure and assessing the overall health of the company. So usually, companies that borrow money need to make sure that the return of their investment is greater than the cost of the debt. Very, very important. The return on the investment must be greater than the cost of debt. Otherwise, you'll be losing money due to the debt. Let me show you, maybe I can use a small analogy to clarify this. Suppose that your return on investment in a year is 12%, okay? But the cost of debt is 15%. See, you're losing money. See, this is how much you're making. This is how much you borrowed. So you're facing a deficit of 3%, which can be big money if the company is handling, large amount of money. Something like the capital expenditure or the operating inventory is, so whatever amount of money the company is handling, if it is big enough, that is this percentages can really add up. And the basic thing is that you're not making money. So you have to make sure that the return on investment is more than the cost of debt. So if you are returning 20% and your debt is 15%, then you're good, So let us go back for this. So when computing the cost of debt, you gotta make sure you're seeing this. There are some variables we need to know. These variables, we have RD, which is the coupon rate on the new long-term debt. That means how much the borrower pays on the bond. Because when company borrows money, usually they sell bond and then they pay the coupon to the bond holders. That can be part of the cost of debt. So sometimes we call it the required return on a bond. And for previously issued bond, the ROD can be also called the yield to maturity. Okay. Now, excuse me. We can also use that symbol to represent the cost of debt. You can use the ROD to represent the cost of debt, or the yield to maturity, which is how much the company pays the bondholders at maturity. Now, we have the RSTD, which is the interest rate on the short-term debt. Sometimes we call it some of those short-term debts. Good example, we call them notes payable. Can be a good example of short-term debt. Then we use the capital T to represent the effective marginal tax rate, the tax the company pays. RPS to represent the return on preferred stock. ROS to be the return on common stock. Then the WD is the weight of long-term debt. I mean, what percentage it is of the capital structure that long-term debt constitutes. WSTD is the weight of short-term debt. WPS means the weight of preferred stock. WS, the weight of common stock. We are going to use these variables when we calculate other costs, like the cost of preferred stock. And so I'm even weighted average cost of capital. Okay, we come to that. Our main focus is cost of debt, RD. Okay. Now, there are a few things, a few more things we need to know about cost of debt. So, cost of debt, RD, is the interest rate that the company pays on its debts. I've already said that. I just want to emphasize on that, so that it can include the short-term debt, like loans, long-term debt, like bonds. And this is why I try to shorten them, explain them here. Okay. 1 minute, let me show you. Got this. Now, other things that weights, WD, WSTD, WPS, and WS, that simply means the percentages of the different sources of capital the firm plans to use on a regular basis. Now, these percentages, it's important to take note of this. These percentages are based on the market values of those sources of capital in the target capital structure. Of course, you already know that WD means weight of long-term debt. WSTD means weight of short-term debt. WPS means weight of the preferred stock. And WS is the weight of the common stock. Okay. At this point, I think I have given you enough background information. Let us do 2 examples. Good. So let's look at this question here. It says, again, let me make sure you are seeing this. Yeah. The question says, a company has outstanding long-term debt with bonds, long-term bond, bond with a face value of $1,000, a 10% coupon rate, 25 years remaining until the maturity, and the current market value of $1,214.82. If it pays interest semi-annually, when they say semi-annual, they mean twice a year. If it pays interest semi-annual, then what is the nominal annual pre-tax cost of debt? If the company's tax rate is 40%, what is the after-tax cost of debt? Now, to answer this question, the first thing to do is to write out the information we are given, and I write them here. You can see, I'll put them in Excel. Like I said in my previous lectures, Excel make this work easy. So I'm going to take you to Excel where I can put this information. Okay. You have this right here. Now, the number of years, remember, it says in the question that how many years does this company have? I say it's 25 years before this bond matures. So that the number of years is 25 years, right? See the number of years here, 25. Now, it pays interest, coupon semi-annually. That means twice a year. So that means number of period will be equals 2 times. Remember, you use asterisks for times in Excel. 2 times 25. That means 50 payments, 50 periods. I'll say 50 periods. Now, the face value of the bond, according to the question, the face value is $1,000. Okay. Now, when it matures, sorry, this is face value, but the current market value of the bond is 1,214.82 cents. So that will represent money leaving out of the company's pocket when it matures. So we're gonna use negative for that in Excel, but this one will stay the same. So that the face value is $1,000. Because you know this is a currency, so I'm gonna make it currency. Now, so the coupon rate, according to equation, coupon rate is 10%. That is the annual coupon rate, 10%. So I'm going to put the annual coupon rate is 10%, okay, which is 0.1. Now, we are also told that this company pays this coupon semi-annually, which is twice a year. So we have to divide it 10% by 2, okay, to take care of the semi-annual payments. So the semi-annual coupon rate we're gonna be equals 10% divided by 2, and give me the semi-annual rate of 5%. So that the payment, the coupon payment, the actual coupon payment for one bond is gonna be equals 0.05 times the face value of the bond. It's $50. So if this is for one bond, if it is 1,000 bonds, so it's going to be $50 times 1,000 bonds. Probably $50,000. Anyway, I think you get the point. The present value of the bond, according to the equation, it said that the market value is $1,214.82, which is, like I said, going to represent money leaving the pocket of the company when it's mature. So we're gonna use a negative to represent that. Excel. I'm gonna take you there. Okay. That's good. 1,000, I think. 1,1214.82. 1214.82. So remember, it's a currency, so I'm gonna make it dollars. So now, then the future value is the face value for the bond is how much it was. So when it was issued, of course, it's $1,000. Okay, $1,000. Yeah, this is the I'm gonna make it a currency because it's a currency. Now, so we are with this information now, we are ready to calculate the semi-annual pre-tax cost of debt. Remember, this is same as saying the year to maturity. Okay, so we're gonna use this formula. So let me create more room so I can play the formula as we'll be looking at the formula as we do the calculation. So let me create more room here, more rooms here. Okay. So we can have more room. Good. So I'm gonna bring this formula here. So we look at it as we put, as we do our computation. So we have added all the information that we have in the equation, and I have them as well in the present PowerPoint here. Okay, so let us calculate the it says here, if the pays interest semi-annually, then what is the nominal pre-tax cost of debt? So we get the semi-annual first, and then we get the annual. So that the semi-annual pre-tax cost of debt now becomes equals. So remember, you put equal sign in the cell in Excel before you make your calculations to keep this, make the cell, tell the cell that get ready for the computations. So that means the same as the year to maturity, which is already so we use the rate function in Excel. So we type rate, you can see the formula right here, rate. Okay, rate, and it pops up, double click on it. Then the number of period N is 50 50 payments, 50 periods, okay, comma. Then payments of $50, comma. Present value is, comma, future value is, comma. Now, if it is for this payment, I mean, the last payment will be made at the end of the maturity, end of the period. So we use 0. You can see right here, 0 represent end of period. So 0. Then close the parentheses and press the enter key. It gives you the semi-annual pre-tax cost of debt in decimal form. Don't worry, we will change it to percent. Okay. So now this is for semi-annual. For the annual one, you just multiply by 2. Okay, this times 2. Give me this. 8%. Remember, they give you the answer in form of decimal. We'll change it to percent. Don't worry. Well, let us let me show you right here. Click on it. Format cells, and then or you can just click on it. Click on this and click on the percent. Say 4% for the semi-annual. But what we are looking for, as you already know, is for the looking for what is the nominal annual pre-tax cost of debt. So in that case, we multiply the semi-annual by 2. 2 times 4 is 8%. So that gives you the nominal annual pre-tax cost of debt. See, as 8%. See, very, very easy, right? Okay. So now, at this point, we are ready to answer the second question. The second question says, if it pays interest semi-annually, sorry, if the company's tax rate is 4%, what is the after-tax cost of debt? Good. Okay. The tax rate is 40%. So have the tax rate here is 40%. This is the formula we're going to use. After-tax cost of debt is semi-annual pre-tax cost of debt, RD, times 1 minus T, which is the tax rate. So let us put the information in, and then we go from there. Okay. Yeah, got it. That is this. So we have this here as 8%, which is 0.08. And the tax rate is at 40%, which is 0.4. So 1 is part of, you can see here that 1 is part of the formula. So I'm going to put 1 here. This is 1. I'm going to put 1 here. So that's now the after-tax cost of debt is RD times 1 minus tax rate, which is equals RD, which is 8%, times, okay, click on 1 minus the tax rate of 40%. Okay, and that is at 0.48%. I can highlight this, 0.48%. Okay, make it yellow, 0.48%. So I'm going to change this to decimal, to percent, make it 48% to 1 decimal place. If you like, I can change this to percent as well. Still in the same thing. So usually, I use the percent in decimal form in Excel. After finishing the calculation, I would convert them to percent. So, make it easy that way. See, this is really fun. At this point, we can try another question, because this is the one we just solved. Is just one of the ways of asking the question. This question can be asked in a different form. Example we have here, required to compute. This is right here. We've done this already. It says, if a company issues a $1,000 per value bond, of course, remember, when a company issues a bond, that means it is they are actually trying to borrow money. So when you buy that bond, you are lending money to the company. So when they issue the bond, they tell you how much they'll pay you when you buy the bond every year. Some countries is not annually, but the US is usually semi-annually. That means twice a year. So anyway, this is the bond face value of the bond. Per value of bond is $1,000, and the coupon payment is $90. So that money they pay you. Look at how it works. This is that bond. The coupon rate is 9%, and the bond is $1,000 just for one bond. So that means they'll be paying you $90 a year for 9%. Let me see if I can show you this. $90. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, good. So I'm gonna make this I'm gonna make get yeah, I'm gonna share it from here. Google. So I'm gonna use Desmos. So as you can see, on the calculator I have here, okay, say $1,000 times 0.09, see $90 every year or every 6 months. Now, if it is for this is for one bond. If you have 100 bonds, that means you can multiply this by 100. I mean, 100. I mean, it's 9,000 every 6 months or every year, depending on the bond covenant contract. Anyway, so if it's a 5-year bond, if this bond matures in 5 years, every year they will pay you that 9,000 if it's 100 bonds every year or every 6 months. Then when the bond matures after 5 years, they give you back your money plus another interest. So the coupon payment is a form of compensation for you for lending them that money. Yeah. Just want to explain it for those who might be confused about what is coupon payment, you know. Anyway, back to our question. If a company issues a $1,000 per value bond with a $90 coupon and the maturity date of 10 years, then and the flotation cost of 2% per value of the bond, calculate the cost of this debt issue, assuming that the firm is subject to a 40% tax rate. So again, let us put the information we have. First of all, we have the annual coupon on the new bond issues. Excuse me, is $90. So we're going to put this information here in Excel. So the annual coupon for the bond issue is $90. 90. As you know, we're gonna make it dollars. Next thing we need is we need the principal. So the bond was issued at $1,000 per value. So our principal is 1,000 per value. Okay, make it $. Then the formula we're going to use are gonna be we need two formulas here. Formula first we're gonna use the formula we use first will be this one here, and you can see that 1 is part of the formula. So I'm gonna put 1 here. Okay. All right. We'll move this way, don't confuse us. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next thing we need is the flotation cost. Of course, the cost of somebody have to advertise the bond, sell the bond, market it, make people know about it so that they can come and buy it. They will charge a fee for that. We call it the flotation cost. So it's 2%. So we're gonna put that in 2%, 2%, which is 0.02. Then tax rate at 40% will be 0.04. Sorry, 0.40 because that's what we have in the question. Now we are looking for the trying to calculate the cost of. We are calculating the cost of this debt issue. Okay, the cost of debt issue. So let's look at the cost of this bond. The cost of issuing this bond to the company as its cost of bond issue equal. The formula it says cost of bond is annual coupon on new issue divided by the principal times 1 minus the flotation cost. So that means annual coupon is $90 divided by, okay, / means divided in Excel. Remember that. The principal, which is $1,000 times 1, you can see 1 minus flotation cost. This is 1 minus the cost of flotation. I close the parentheses to balance it, twice to balance it. Close it twice to balance it because you have 2 opening parentheses here, so you must have 2 closing parentheses at the end to balance it. So I give out the cost of the bond. Okay. Now it gives us the answer as a decimal. Don't worry, we're going to change it to percent in a minute. Then let us just finish the computation and then we'll change it. Okay. So the cost of bond, then that's because it has 2 questions there. Not really 2 questions, but we need to do 2 things. So you have the cost of bonds, but we need, I think we need the after tax, I believe. Let me see. What calculate the cost of this debt issue, assuming that the firm is subject to 40% tax. So the pre-tax cost of this bond is what we have so far. So let's go calculate the after tax. So for that, we're gonna need this formula here, the after tax. So after tax cost of this bond, which is the debt, okay, equals, you can see the ROD, which is the cost of bond times 1 minus the tax rate, which is, this is the ROD, cost of the bond, times, okay, 1 minus tax rate of 40%. And close the parentheses. And when you press the enter key, I give us the cost. So we can now change this to percent. I'll make it 2 decimal places. Okay. Now this is the cost. So the one what we're looking for, the after tax, which is the 5.51%. And this is similar to what we have in my work in the PowerPoint, 5.52%. Okay, so the after tax, the cost of this debt is 5.52% or 5.5. Well, this is, I have 5.51% here, just rounding error. So this is it. That's how to calculate this is how to calculate the cost of debt. I hope you enjoy my lecture, and I'll see you in the subsequent lectures. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.